Welcome to the WTF show, Rhonda.
That's right. This is a public service announcement from this station. Idiots are now assisting with the broadcast. Hey, we're kicking off the show. We're going to be playing 80s music, the best of the 80s, the greatest rock and roll hits from the 80s on the radio side. And on, I'm going to take off my, well, I'll put my mask back on in a second. On the video side, we're going to be talking about some of today's, I don't know, current events. I just got out of Facebook jail, too, so that's hot. All right, so let's get back to music on the radio side and welcome everybody here on the international cameras and the throughout the world. Thank you for coming.
Oh my God, what do you have to say for yourself, Rhonda Shea?
I say,
is it true you are part of the, wait a minute, you're not.
I'm going into Portland. I decided to take a vacation to Portland.
You're with the feds, aren't you?
Yeah, that's, and I wore my, you can't see it here, let's see, I wore my camo, because we're going to talk about, you know, goodbye to the United States, right? I mean, we've lost it. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Hi, Holly and Robert and all kinds of folks. So this was my outfit for today in honor of the people in Portland and the other cities where the federal government is certainly overextending their power, and our idiot-in-chief is trying to incite riots and declare martial law so there won't be an election since he's losing his ass to Biden.
What do you think of this? He was trying to start a war with everybody. Nobody would go for it. Nobody would
just start it off. Yeah, what the heck?
Let's just knock the hell out of everybody at home.
I'll just start a word here. Oh, God.
That's what happened.
Oh, he's so bad. He is so bad. But anyway, so I thought we'd talk a little bit about some of the things that are happening in the world, including what's happening around the country with sending in federal troops to cities and states that don't request them and don't want them, because our nut-in-chief thinks that he can, you know, that he's going to win an election by putting it in there. Jesus.
The nut-in-chief.
Oh, I'm telling you, he is the worst.
He's not in nothing. I mean, he's just in there. He bought his way in. Everybody
knows. I'm going to take my jacket off. It's hot in here.
It's because I'm around here.
It's, I'm so hot, Henry, with you. Oh, stop it.
She's hot.
You're killing me. You're killing me, Schmalls.
Where does that come from?
It comes from that movie, with the kids playing baseball. Remember that, the backyard?
Yes, go on, come on.
What is that called? With all the kids playing baseball and that dog and they pickle the dog. Yeah. Anyway, so we're here today and we're going to talk.
We didn't finish the story.
Well,
it comes from that movie.
What was the name of that movie, though? Sandlot.
Sandlot.
There we go. Sandlot.
With that big dog in the back.
That's
Elizabeth, thank you. Rhonda's been having a bad case of the.
Oh, ever since I've been in Facebook jail. Somebody turned me in, I guess, for
Let's
Facebook
talk
jail.
about Facebook jail.
I had to be off Facebook for 3 days. They might take me off again after this show is live. Who knows? I consider it a badge of honor. They said they took me off for sexually explicit, and it wasn't.
You should have seen what she was putting. Those guys, I mean, naked on there that you posted was. I couldn't believe you posted naked guys.
What I put on there was a picture of a 1950s family sitting around. Dad was reading the Bible, and it basically said something like, okay, we're Christians, so we believe we treat people nice, we take care of the poor, we help the weak.
We donate money
we don't commit adultery, we don't lie, and we don't cheat. How come we support Trump? And the dad said, oh, honey, that's just what we preach, we don't practice it. And then they put me in Facebook jail. Oh, there's Patricia. Hey, Patricia. Hope you're feeling well. This goes out to you saying hi. She's in New York. She's a fabulous lawyer. If we ever need one there, you can look her up. No, she's great. She really is. Patricia, I'm going to spell it, Bisesto, B-I-S-E-S-T-O. So if you're listening from New York, look her up. Use her law firm. There's a plug.
I think females make the best lawyers. Yeah, I've had, no, really.
They do, but I'm just wondering what you're going to say about
that. Well, that's real. I had a couple of male lawyers at one point in my life, and they're okay, but then this one female lawyer, my God, what she gets in there and just took care of business.
See?
As I'm telling you, they're very good.
Well,
because you can't argue with women. Oh, there it came. I knew you was coming.
I was waiting.
You can't argue with women.
You can't. We'll kick your butt.
Yeah, see, it's like, okay, you win. Isn't that right, Patricia? You can't argue with women. That's why you always win your cases.
That's right. She does win, too. Okay.
I just told you why. Don't look at me like I don't know why.
I miss you, too. I wish I could see you guys. It's been a long time since I've been in New York. I'll have to get out there and say hi to people.
Plus, Rhonda, you know, women talk to each other.
We have secret codes.
Yeah, so it's a secret code how to, like...
So, I want to talk about QAnon today.
You and I?
QAnon.
Oh, I heard it wrong.
I want to talk about QAnon. I want to talk about the federal troops. We're going to talk about, let me see what's on the radio side. Music, if you don't want to hear political stuff, then flip over to the music side. Just go to KUHSdenver.com, jump on, you can hear the music. We are always right, she said. We can hear the music, and you don't have to listen to this. And after this, by the way, this will be a whole lot of people that I've just decided if I don't really want to go out and have lunch with you, I don't want you on my Facebook page. So I'm going to be dumping about 200 people off my page. It's like I got too many, and some of them are pains in the asses, so they're going. But anyway.
But Tricia, you're always right. We know this. That's why I said females.
She is always right. We're always right.
Females make the best lawyers. I say that they do.
So let's say hi to our international camera, everybody that's out there watching and listening from around the country and around the world. So thank you for tuning in. Those of you that are in other countries, we're sorry. Hopefully it'll be over in just 100 days.
We're sorry.
I don't know what to say to them. It's like
I feel so bad.
we screwed up the entire world, not just us. But anyway, so I thought we'd start out by talking about QAnon. You know what QAnon is?
I don't.
Okay, QAnon is an anonymous group, and the leader is this person or persons named Q. And they are a conspiracy theorist group. There's 600,000 people in the United States that subscribe to their feeds, including our president, dumbass, Trump. Anyway, dumbass Donald Trump subscribes to QAnon. He retweets their stuff all the time. Twitter has just removed 150 accounts from QAnon because of false and misleading and dangerous information. Oh, who we've got here? We've got, oh wow, New Jersey. Wow, look at this one. Who's that one? Oh, Buffalo, New York, New Jersey. I can't even say that. I have no idea.
That's
kind of the Peloponnese. We have people from the Peloponnese. I can say that. The city was like, I gotta go back.
That's from Greece.
Oh, yeah. No, that's right. Peloponnese. That's in the Greece.
Bolivia.
I've been there actually. The Peloponnese. It's beautiful.
Portugal. Paris. Oh
my gosh, look at all this. It's beautiful.
And Pacifica, California.
Pacifica, California, all over the world.
I see one up the other day. It was from Corona, California.
Oh, where?
In Corona, California.
There you go. We like that. We like Corona, California. So we have people from all over the world listening usually, and actually tens of thousands of them. So thank you for tuning in. He said male lawyers have leather blank. Robert's a retired male lawyer. He's a good lawyer too. Not all good lawyers.
Well, okay, male lawyers have leather
briefs.
Leather briefs. Leather briefs?
Male lawyers have leather briefs.
Yes,
that's what
leather
briefs.
Jesus.
I'm trying to figure it out. Lori Clench is watching. I just spent a good weekend up there with her, and I went to sleep in their guest room, and I looked down, and there was a ventriloquist dummy in it. Honest to God, I was like, oh, hell no.
Did they start talking to you?
I was like, oh, hell no.
And where did they start talking?
We had been a little tipsy. I was like, oh, hell no. I took that thing, I threw it out in their living room. I'm like,
he came back, hi, Rhonda.
Oh, no, it's like, that was creepy as shit. Anyway, we're going to talk about those things. So let's start out with QAnon. So did you know that according to QAnon, and some of this has been debunked because the date passed, that JFK Jr. is still alive?
That could be possible.
But keep going. He's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in Pennsylvania.
That doesn't sound right.
He's got an assumed name.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that he has been living in Pennsylvania under assumed name is he's been plotting to get back at the government for killing his father, the Democrats, of course, the evil Democrats. And he's a supporter of Trump, and he's going to unveil himself as Trump's 2020 running mate. And that was supposed to happen at the rally on July 4th in North Dakota. Of course, that didn't happen, and so now they're like, oh, well, he's just late. Wake him up from his nap, it's a dirt one.
I don't think Trump is going to make it in this election. I don't think he's
going to leave office, but I don't think he's going to
drag him out.
He's not going to win, that's for sure. He's not going to win. There's Kathy, hi, you're back. Yep, I'm back. I'm out of jail.
Yeah, they let her out. I have to bail her out. Boy, it costs a lot.
I didn't even say anything dirty. It was just because I made fun of Jesus.
It was dirty. She had two naked men up there. I told her, don't do it.
I didn't make fun of Jesus. I made fun of people who are following Jesus.
Oh, I thought it was
who were ignoring the practices and the teachings of Jesus. And somebody turned me in or something. I don't know. They're all going anyway. I'm going through the children of the corn. That's what I call the people I went to college with that are in the Midwest that are just stuck in all that myopic viewpoint. They're going. I'm getting a
myopic viewpoint. I like that. I'm using that.
But anyway, so QAnon is that, and these people are the supporters of Trump, and they follow him religiously. They're also the perpetrator of numerous other conspiracy theories that are going around.
What does that mean, conspiracy theories? That was a word made up to debunk everything.
Well, a conspiracy theory is basically somebody's viewpoint about an incident, and it's taken to the point where it's just conspiracy.
Those 2 twin towers came down. That's not conspiracy theory. They were brought down.
Well, the towers were brought down. The
yeah.
conspiracy theories
because that was
start.
like sand. Big towers like that don't come down like
Well,
sand.
and so the conspiracy theories start when people start going, well, it was the United States government that blew up their own towers.
It was.
Or it was, it's JFK Jr. is not dead. Elvis is still alive. Hitler was still alive.
Well, those are really
years ago.
far-fetched. But
Yeah.
those 2 towers came down. Because the third one came down, nothing was touched that hit it. It came down like sand, too.
Well, it probably had rocked on the foundation from below. That's what I would assume.
No.
But
There was 100 and some engineers who proved it wrong. They came down with
there you
controlled
go.
demolition.
You're going to join QAnon next week.
No, I'm telling you.
It could have.
No,
But
it was real.
there's probably more to it than we know, but I highly doubt that the American
trillions
government
of
took it
dollars
down.
that were missing on September 10th before the September 11th
Yeah.
attack.
There's probably more to that than we know, but my guess is the government didn't take it down.
Yes.
There could have been.
Not the government itself, but the people in the government.
There could have been some people involved in that. Yeah, that one's a little bit up in the air. But the hard thing is that there's so many of these people don't know what to believe anymore. And because of that, we have an entire country that looks like idiots to the rest of the world because we don't believe anything. Nobody believes anything. And it's like you've got hundreds of thousands of years of science, people don't believe it. You got some person that's got a degree, and if they got a degree, high school dropout that's out there saying Dr. Fauci doesn't know what he talks about.
Well, what about this?
Give me a break.
Just for the sake of argument,
All right.
just for grins, I want to hear you take. This pandemic, this is created. It's a real virus. They threw it out there to get everybody sick, but it's man-made. A
So,
virus
I mean-
cannot, yes, a virus cannot go all over the world and survive in all these different environments from the environment it came
They
from.
can. Flu does it every year.
How?
Well, it's carried person to person,
Mhm.
and flu does it every year. Flu
Okay.
goes all over the country, the same flu.
All over the world?
All over the world, so it can be done.
I said the virus.
But the flu is a virus.
Is it?
Yeah.
So this is a virus.
This is a virus like the flu or like a cold, it's just more deadly.
And
COVID is an actual cold virus, that's
it
what it
was
is.
created in a laboratory.
Viruses have DNA,
Mhm.
and so you can pull them out and you can tell if they're from where they get
I
their
want to know where you
origins.
got all this information from.
I read it.
QAnon?
I studied. No, QAnon. Yeah, it's QAnon. I love them. I'm a big Q fan. Listen, if you're a Q fan and you are like a friend of mine, please just
Go away. I already said
go away. Just go away. I don't want you in my
Why are you
life.
saying we're going to go away?
Like, Jesus Christ, bunch of damn dummies. Yeah. But
You wonder
anyway,
how that launches into people. It grabs people. Just like there's followers and backers of
well,
Trump.
and it's all the conspiracy theorists of JFK when he was not Junior, but the president when he was shot, and because we don't always get the truth.
That was also
anyway,
done by the
that's
by
a
backside because he created all that money. He's going to take all the money away from the Federal Reserve.
Yes, and yes.
They shot him dead, got him
I
out
think
of
that's
there,
why he
took the
was
money
killed.
back in, and JFK, Lyndon B. Johnson, kind of hid it away. The
I
money
think
was
the
gone.
Federal Reserve Bank is behind the assassination of
Yes.
Lincoln and Kennedy and Garfield.
Yes, because
Because all three of
they
them
don't-
were trying to get rid of that bank,
Money,
and that's
yeah.
privately owned. It's not owned by the American people, by the
That's
way.
right.
It's owned 50% or something by the
The
American
banks
people.
rule the world.
Or,
You know that.
or 63% of it's owned by families like the Rothschilds and rich people. It's not owned by the people of the United States, and they have a contract to print the money and manage the money and decide the interest. And when we borrow money as a country,
You have to
we're
borrow
paying
from-
interest to them for our tax
And
dollars.
they make money out of thin
Yeah,
air.
and so our debt would go down like this if we just got rid of the Federal Reserve and just had the Congress print the money.
Yeah, and then here's another thing, is on 60 Minutes I heard that they don't print the money anymore. They just create digits in the computers.
Yeah, they don't even do that.
Here's some digits. How about it? Here's
Give me a
5
few digits. I can use a
billion.
few digits in the computer.
Oh.
In the computer. What are you thinking? Stop it. God, Henry. Jeez.
That's the way you say it,
Well, yeah,
Robert.
that's a few digits in my bank account.
Yeah, gotcha.
Put them in there. I could use it. God. Let's see, Cindy is on there. Cindy, that's one of my kumquat girls. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
We love her. I haven't seen her. She's in Colorado
I'm
now.
trying to remember.
She got to get in here on the show with me.
I was telling somebody about your organization that you're with, the Kumquats, and I couldn't think of the name. And then I finally thought of it, and I said it, and they says, "You're kidding me." No, I'm not kidding. No, you're just making that up. You know, it sounded like if I said, their name is Kumquats.
That's a worse sounding name, isn't it? Like, I don't know who named that
depends.
fruit.
You know, it depends.
It's like, okay. Like the game cornhole. Okay. That's a Midwest thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, it's like, okay.
Did you ever play
Did you
Spin
think
the
of a
Bottle
better
in-
name? Oh,
in
of course,
school?
who didn't? Everybody played that.
Did you ever go play hide and seek and go hide behind the bushes?
No.
Kick the can?
Kick the can, hide and seek. We used to do
You
Spin
never
the
went to hide
Bottle.
behind the bushes
Oh, yeah,
with your boyfriend?
I don't think so. I don't remember. It's been so
Look
long.
at her, look at
We're
her.
going,
I don't remember.
maybe. But and all those dumb games. you
They were
play.
cool.
Yeah, they were cool. Let me tell you something. Don't play Spin the Bottle when you're old, though. We were really bored when we were locked in our house, and so Pat and I were playing it. And it ain't pretty. It just ain't pretty anymore. It's like, oh God, don't do that. There's Bill Johnson. Hi, Bill.
Did you ever
Bill is
play,
a brilliant
poker?
professor and attorney at Ohio State University.
All these attorneys.
Yeah. I have
Oh,
smart people that
that's-
listen to me.
that's who got-
Okay, smart people listen to me.
That's
I
how you
got
got
it.
a
You want smart
Facebook
people?
jail.
I got them on my show. You
That's
want to
how
advertise
you-
the smart people? I got them on my show. A
That's
couple of
how
them.
you got out of
Yeah.
Facebook jail.
I got,
She's
we
got
got
these attorneys.
115,000 listeners and viewers, and 100,000 of them are smart, and there's 15,000 idiots. But you got to have them too.
You know, I put on this forum with natives. I had natives, Latino, and
Right.
who else? I had the Asian. And the kind of remarks I was getting.
Were they bad?
Oh my gosh, I erased it all. It was
That's
just,
ridiculous.
One says, my second great grandfather fought at Gettysburg and freed the slaves. Debt paid. I said,
Oh,
okay,
I've
so
been
your
seeing some interesting
grandfather freed his own slaves, and no, he was killed. He was killed and freed his own slaves. Got killed freeing his own slaves. She goes, no, that was the Confederates. That it was them who owned the slaves.
Well, I honestly have to say this, one of the most ignorant posts I've ever read in my life, one of the most ignorant things I've ever seen anybody post, and there were people that responded to it, and they're the ones that are going to be gone now that I'm out of Facebook jail, was a post that simply said that 364,000 Union soldiers fought to free the slaves, and they should get reparations. Basically, that's what it said, and I was like, holy crap, this is the most inflammatory, dumbest, racist post I've ever read in my life.
What's the going on?
And there were
Here we
people
are,
that liked
400
it,
years
and then there were
later.
other people that liked it. So all the people that liked that post and made that post, now that I'm out of Facebook jail, I'm going to unfriend and block. It's like, I don't want anything to do with you. I really don't. I didn't see you for 30 years. Now you're on my Facebook page. If I liked you, I would have found you.
Reparations.
Get out of it.
Well, they did give them reparations when they let go of their slaves out of their plantations. They did get reparations.
Well, they did get them, and they should have. And
No, not the slaves, the slave owners.
Yes, the slave owners got it, and if they fought in the Union Army, the blacks that fought in the Union Army got some land and things like that, and pay. But that was the most racist thing I've ever read in my life. Oh my God, Charlie McCarthy's watching you. McCartney's watching. That's that dummy, that ventriloquist dummy. I was telling you about. That was a scare. I looked down there. It was.
She was
Show.
really talking to
Gonna be
her
my
when she was
guest in
laying
2
there.
weeks.
Hey.
Hey, you know
She
what?
was going, hey.
I gotta tell you this, in 2 weeks, I'm gonna have a very special 2 guests that are gonna call in. We gotta figure out how to do it, from California, from Hollywood. And
Let's do Zoom.
yeah, let's do Zoom. That's how we'll do it.
That's perfect.
And it's Nancy and Bob Daly. Bob went to high school with us. Nancy's his wife. Bob and his wife performed on Broadway for many, many years.
You told me about that.
Yeah,
That's
Nancy
good.
is a great pianist and an artist, and performed, I think it was at the Waldorf Astoria for years, but at one of the famous places there. And they're going to join me. They're going to do a little music for us live from some of their shows. They're going to talk about what they're doing and what's going on in Hollywood.
That'd be nice. Yeah, zoom them in. I mean, look
Yeah.
at, we've got the big screen there.
That's how we'll do it. We're going to carry them live on radio and TV
Both.
at the same time.
When it's all in the studio, I can patch in everywhere.
So that's going to be wonderful. Oh God, you and Charlie are united for life.
She was telling me about this guy she met, and I couldn't understand who she was talking about. Then I found out it's a...
It's Charlie, not Charlie Manson. He's dead. Oh, Charlie's not dead. He's going to come and be Trump's running mate in 2020. That's a new QAnon theory. Jesus God.
That's so funny.
But anyway, So what do you think of all those troops going in?
Oh,
Let's have a
my
talk about
gosh.
that. Let's have a little
Oh,
chat about that.
jeez.
Anybody commenting? Because I'm willing to take comments, but if you're too damn dumb, I'm going to delete them. Anyway, so what do you think?
I don't think I think that's absolutely nuts, because it ain't really troops that are going
Yeah.
in. It's ICE, it's part of,
It's federal agents.
yeah. And it's also Homeland Security and a few of the FBI people. So I know they're going in there and doing
Yeah, they're all going in there. And you know what I think is that it's wrong. Now, if they're called in because they need support by the governors, then that's different. If they're just staying in and surrounding federal property and federal buildings, that's a different story.
Even then,
But
I mean,
to
what
go-
are they doing? Holding up a sign? We protest. I mean, what? Unless
And then,
graffiti
well,
or
of course, it's
something.
all, well, there was some violence, and that's okay, but that's why they're there, but not to go out in the streets and tear gas paramedics and cameramen and moms
and the mayors and
the
governors.
mayors and the governors, and this is just an all-out attack on our liberty. It's an all-out attack. It's fascism, and we have a fascist in the office.
I'm just
And-
worried about them going to Chicago.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I know it. The streets of Chicago are
A
mean.
little bit different than Portland.
Yeah.
The gluten-free, organic Portland people wearing Birkenstock sandals are going to be a hell of a lot different than the people in the city of Chicago.
In the streets of Chicago, they'll be they'll be in the shadows.
They're going to
waiting
get
for
more
it.
than they bargained for there.
That's what I'm worried about. I really think about that.
No, I know.
It's, I mean, Jesus.
I mean, those people are going to have arms. They're not going to sit there
They're
and
not-
mess
yes,
with it. They're going to be like,
they're-
you get
yeah,
out of
well,
here.
Yeah, that's like, you know, the police.
Those Southsiders of Chicago are going to
Oh,
be mad.
Who is this? Who are these guys? Look at them. You know, they're gonna, even though they're part mercenary and they're all.
Oh, half of them are mercenaries. They're paid
Yes,
by Blackwater.
they're paid- yes,
Yeah.
exactly right.
And they're not patriots or nothing. They're just pieces of crap.
Yeah, they're
in a-
paid,
in a
and
uniform.
somebody was telling me that earlier. They're paid well, and so okay, we'll go do what we gotta do for the money. You know.
They don't care.
They don't
The,
care.
but anyway, it's terribly wrong, and we need to see a stop to that. And we have a right to protest peacefully, and most of the protests are peaceful. There are those few groups that come and incite violence on both ends of the spectrum, and those need to be dealt with. But they can be dealt with by the state's militia, which is the National Guard. They don't need the other ones. And that's just a ploy, in my opinion, to call to arms and do a ploy.
Yeah, doesn't
Yeah.
that kind of worry you
Mhm.
about what he's
Yeah,
trying
what-
to start
yeah,
before
what he's doing
before an
something else.
election? You know, you start that before an election.
I said this the day after he was elected. There will be a reason for him to incite violence to cause martial law so that he will suspend the election and not leave the office. And
How come he wants to stay in there so bad?
because he's an egotistical maniac. But anyway, you know, we've got a man in there that literally is the worst president in American history. He's done absolutely nothing. He built 3 miles of wall that spent billions of dollars. 3 miles, folks. That's what's completed. 3 miles. There's your big wall. 3 miles. All right, and it's falling down. Parts of that are falling down. It has never been completed.
Well, the Mexicans
Mexico didn't pay for
They're
it.
cutting some of it down to go cash
Yeah.
it in for some
Money. But, Mexico didn't pay for it. You know, so there you go. Nothing that he said on his campaign trail actually came to fruition at all. Not one single thing. The 3 things that I think he has done good. The 3 things that he has done good are: 1, he's passed a law to make. He didn't pass it. He signed it. Somebody else wrote it. People voted it in, and he signed it. So he can't really take credit for it, other than signing it. He didn't block it. Was the protection that a felony for animal abuse, and that was good. He signed into law the law that was passed by the Democrats and the Republicans, and then presented to him the fact that you can get your drugs from other countries a little easier. And he,
Sure. Hey, now that you're talking about that, did you hear about the sanitizer? Hand sanitizers coming from all these different countries. Some have the type of alcohol that's not supposed to be on you, and it poisons you.
It kills you. I know.
What do you think of that?
I don't know. Everything will kill you anymore.
It's
And he also signed into law some drug treatments that you can do if you're in a stage 4 disease situation. And so he didn't write those or anything. He signed them. So those are the things that I think he's done good. 4 things. That's it. 4. And then none of them outweigh what he's done bad. He's defunded arts. He's defunded science. He's defunded humanities. He's defunded public health. He's trying to defund Social Security. He's defunded our parks and recs. He's trying to defund the school system. And everybody's
Yeah, because if
complaining
they don't do
because
it-
somebody wants to defund the police. Are you kidding me?
So they can send in the federal people.
Put it in there with the rest of them. You know, it's ridiculous. The man is terrible, and he's the worst thing that ever happened to this country.
Yeah, you know, he said if they don't go back to school, he's going to defund the schools, right? They don't get their school money. Is that correct? Is that how?
That's what he says. You know, because we're gonna vote him out, so he's gonna lose.
Hopefully we get him out of there. You know, it's like.
Well, not just him. I think a sweep. Get them all out, and then start over. I mean, right now, what really has to happen is every single Republican in office, anywhere, everywhere,
what
has to be voted out.
Huh? Mulaney.
Melania?
Melania Trump.
That slut?
No. What's her name?
The first slut? Oh, yeah. She's so bad.
That's what's on Saturday Night Live. Rosanna Dana, what was her name?
Rosanna.
What was that gal's name?
Oh, Jane Curtin.
Jane Curtin would always come.
You
slut.
Jane, you incredible slut. And she's nothing but a high-paid hooker. So anyway, we all know that. That's a given. She's a Russian or whatever she's from, bride that he brought over. But anyway, enough of that.
That's funny.
What?
You slut.
You incredible slut. But anyway, the whole thing is gone. I'm not even at the point where I can be decent about him anymore. I can't stand him, and because he is destroying our country. And he's also, if you're a Republican, you should hate Donald Trump, because that group of people on the far right, the teabaggers and all those people wanted to, get rid of all that stuff, have stolen the Republican Party, and it is now a nationalist party. There is no such thing as a Republican Party.
No, they're just
it is a Republican nationalist party, which is what the Nazis were, nationalists. So they have taken the party, they have hijacked it, they have pulled it so far right that it's now a nationalist party, and good Republicans with solid Republican values and beliefs, that party does not exist, and you should be angry. I am. I was a Republican until 6 years ago. I'm very angry. My party was taken from me by a bunch of right-wing nuts, and and all KKK and a coup job that they elected in. And so we've got, the party has been stolen. It is no longer the Republican Party. It is a nationalist party. I don't refer to it as Republican. I refer to it as Republican Nationalist Party. And if you want to admit that you're a member of a nationalist party, go ahead. We all know where you stand.
Well, they say every profession has bad apples. Would that include, like they have in Las Vegas, professional hookers?
Well, yeah, there's probably some bad at it.
Bad apples in there?
Yeah, they're bad. Some people are bad at it.
Some are bad.
I don't know. But, and so what I would say to my fellow former Republicans is, just because someone disagrees with Trump, just because someone disagrees with keeping babies in cages and letting them die, and just because we disagree with making alliances, unholy alliances with Putin and with Kim Jong-un and people like that, doesn't mean that they're a leftist fascist person. As soon as you disagree with one of those rabid Trump people, they're like, oh, they're a fascist, oh, they're a leftist. Well, they're not. We're Americans that are tired, sick and tired of having a bully in the White House that defames women, that says he's going to grab them by the you-know-what, that clearly doesn't value women, except for Gisela, who he just said was a good person, the child molester, and clearly is out to destroy the United States of America and our freedoms and our liberties. And he's only doing it to protect himself and the people that he knows, so they can rake more oil from our ground, and they can steal more land from our native brothers and sisters, and they can get rid of the rules so they can own us. And that's what he's trying to do.
And just like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, did you hear what that Republican?
That was beautiful, wasn't it?
What she just came out about women. It was like, women, like I was telling you, women are beautiful.
And he said Jesus, and what did he say made him do it? Did you see what he said? Jesus. Well, last time I heard, Jesus didn't let you call somebody an effing you-know-what.
Yeah.
That's not in Jesus' repertoire.
She looked at him and he said, and he was claiming he didn't do it, but yet, some of the press was out there recording this.
I know, it's crazy.
It's like,
Jesus and something made him do it. Oh, and yeah, right. Jesus made you say she's an effing bitch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't.
And she came out and said, my father taught me not to take anything from a man like that, being degraded as a woman.
Yeah.
And really, why did he have to tell her that? What was she doing that was so terrible? We got a rant on Cruella de Vos.
Oh, Cruella de Vos. Cruella de Vos.
She's the one, a rich billionaire who's telling the schools, yeah, open up or we're taking
I don't
away
think
your
she's
money.
got a college education. You know that?
No, she inherited it all.
Yeah,
That's
she's
right.
she's ridiculous. That's another one. Oh God.
She's
The cabinet is filled with enablers and people who are just
who have
bad. They don't know what
just
they're doing.
inherited all this money,
It's bad.
and they think they can just do
So we're
anything.
enough of that. We're gonna get them out.
Cruella?
We're gonna sweep out the whole bunch of them.
How about Cruella?
And actually, I don't really care if Trump wins, as long as we take back both houses. If we
Yes.
have the Congress and the Senate, we can impeach him, get him the hell out, get Pence, First Lady Pence out, and get the rest of them out. Because they're crooks. They're evil crooks. And I'm really sorry if you are, hung up in voting for him, because if you are, I kind of think you're an evil crook too. There's a few of you I don't, because a few of you I just think, you probably think you're doing the right thing. But for the most part, no. There's no justification anymore for standing by a man who would send troops in when unwanted on their own people. There is no.
What is he trying to accomplish? There's nobody doing anything really out of the ordinary. There's no looting and mass
Well, I think there was
rioting. Well,
yeah,
very little.
but it was not what it's being portrayed as. That's
Not
for
like
sure. It
in
was
Oregon where
confined
the
to-
moms are out there.
their moms like they're.
They grabbed one of the moms.
They had
Did
like
you
a
see that?
2-block area that they had blocked off.
They grabbed one of the moms and put her in a van.
Have you seen what's going on in
unmarked.
Louisville right now? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, what's the name of that group? It's called.
Yeah, you got two really scary groups in Louisville. Louisville's going to take the shorts.
I'll bring it up. I'll show you.
Yeah. So what's going on in Louisville, if you've been under a rock, is you've got the right wing and you've got the far left wing, and in Louisville you can carry a gun and do whatever you want. You just get your gun and get your friend Bubba and go out and shoot a rabbit or something, and so they've all got these assault weapons and they've got other weapons and rifles, and both groups are armed, and they're separated by the police, but you've got one.
There
on
are
one side.
militia groups.
Yeah, you've got armed militia groups meeting in Louisville, and on one side of the issue and on the other side of the issue. And so that might require the National Guard and some troops.
I don't even think
Real
they
troops.
can handle that.
Because that's kind of, that's getting.
I don't think they can handle that.
That's kind of getting there. That's
Because
a little bit,
there's 1,000 of these. I don't give a rat's ass. I think, or something like that.
I don't know what they are, but and then they've
That's
also
what they're
got
called.
they've got the left. You've got the armed militia that are in support of the BLM movement, and then you've got
NFAC.
yeah.
I forgot what that.
I don't know. And then you've also got the far rights that have the weapons. So you've got both groups that are definitely aligned to hate each other, and they're all armed to the teeth. So that's going to be that's one where you do need to send in help. But you don't send in people that aren't marked in unmarked vans to grab people off the streets of America. Hitler. You send in troops that are under when the government requests it, and they have a National Guard, and if they need support, you send in real troops for that. That's a real insurgent. That's a real problem. People marching, college kids and others marching with a little bit of spray paint, you don't respond by shooting them dead in the street or beating the hell out of them.
Well, this group, the black militia group, is much more heavily armed than the other ones. Like I said, there's 1,000 of them, and they're called.
Well, they'll protect it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, even the troops, I think that's so dangerous because
It's dangerous for
they're
everybody.
extremely heavily armed, both sides. Even if the troops come in, they're just as heavily
But
armed as
all the
troops.
people that are going to complain about this on the right, that are going to complain that all these people on the left have all these guns, well, it's because you won't pass gun control.
That's right.
Hello, none of them should have them. There shouldn't be anybody walking around the street freely carrying an AK-15.
That's
or
the name of
AR-15.
them, Not Effing Around Coalition.
Yeah,
They're called the Not Effing Around Coalition,
Coalition.
but there's the actual word in
and
there.
and that's bad. And then there's also the other side that's
Yes,
there.
which is
And,
very small compared to them.
Yeah. So, but they're all going to aggravate each other. So I think that's going to be a bad deal, a real bad deal actually.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
No,
on
it
the
doesn't look too
book,
good there, and they may need troops there. And I think that
You keep saying troops. I'm telling you, the troops, I don't think they're going to be able to control it because troops don't want to start shooting on their own people.
well,
Vice versa, I don't think this group, NFAC, wants to shoot on the troops because it doesn't make any sense. I just
nothing makes sense
I just
anymore.
think the NFAC is protecting the rights of all the
Protesters.
the protesters, and that's what they're guarding, the protesters from
But that's
the
gonna
federal,
escalate.
the federal.
Yeah, but that's going to
Those
escalate,
federal
and that's not
agents are
wise.
sending down
That's
there,
not
yeah.
wise. It's not wise.
Because I mean, all that's up front right now are all the moms. They're holding out with their barricade, and they went and arrested a couple of them. They threw them in this
They ought to
van.
bring their babies and hold them and see what they do, because if
They
you kill
showed
them,
this
if
one
they out
guy.
there holding a baby and they throw a tear gas at you, that'll change the whole attitude there.
Maybe.
You know,
If they're grabbing the women now, putting them in unmarked vans and whisking them away, I don't know.
I don't know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yes.
Probably whisking them away to Giselle's secret place where she has all the sex slaves for Trump.
Exactly right. And they bust that lady, and then Trump says, "Oh, I wish her
Yeah, a
well."
pedophile. I mean, even if, and we all know that you know, that's a pretty big thing, so she should have stayed out of that one. No. No, He probably wanted her to give a message to his couple of 12-year-old girlfriends. Did you see he's got 37? I found the court documents, by the way. It's online. If you ever want to read it, you can see the court transcript to a 13-year-old girl that accused our president of rape along with Jeffrey Epstein at one of his parties. And there's 37 women, and it came to court, and there's a transcript on it. And I found the actual transcripts, so you can read those online, by the way, if you doubt that that's something that went to court. Anyway, so all I'm going to say, I'm done ranting now. I'm mad. I can't. I'm done. I'm over it. We're just going to talk about other things because, you know, I can go on and on and on. And but I can say this, that folks, this is the most important election of our lifetime, and we no longer have a Republican Party. It is a fascist nationalist party. The Republican Nationalist Party is what it is. And if you're a former Republican like I am, and you're going to need to do something that is not comfortable with. And for me, I'm not comfortable voting in a progressive agenda. I'm not completely in favor of that. But I will vote in anybody who will get this man out. I don't care what it is. Get him out. You know, what is it? What I would vote.
What's it take, huh?
Yeah. I would vote for Biden. What did you say? His supporters would follow him if he...
I would get a really good running mate.
I'd vote for Biden if he shot me on the street in New York.
If Biden got him a really good running mate for vice president, then I would step down, say I'm sick, and let that person take over as president.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then have somebody else come in as vice.
But Biden's got to be voted for because the most important thing in our life is getting this man out, and then getting all of his cronies out, all of the ones that support him.
There's
so
hardly
the
anybody
Senate,
left. He fired
we have to
everybody,
take
right?
all three houses to clean out the cancer that has taken over the Republican Party. And when we get that cleaned out, then a new party can come back. And I would say that, read Robert's post. Let me see where it is. Robert must have posted something, but I don't see it. Where did he say? Let me see where it is. She wants me to read his post, and I am looking. Oh, don't forget to rant on Cruella DeVos. Yeah, we'll go on that one in a
That's
minute.
what I was telling you earlier.
But the Republican Party is gone, people, and that we knew and we grew up with, and it was a good party. It had some difference in difference in opinion, but it was a good party of solid values. The way they approached problems was a little bit different than the way the Democratic Party did, but that party's gone, and it needs to come back. And I believe the Lincoln Project will resurrect it under the name Lincoln, the Party of Lincoln. And the Republicans will become our third party, fascist party, and all of those people that are on the far right will stay with that. So I think that's where we're heading.
We gotta clean this all up, and this is really horrible. I think we're in a serious mess right now because I think we're vulnerable for another country to come and take us over because the United States is the worst hit with the pandemic than anybody else in the world.
We had the worst management of it.
And that's probably why, seriously.
You know,
They
you
can
got all
take us
people that
over.
don't believe it, and the selfish people that don't want to wear masks.
Everybody has to sit home and
Yeah.
hang out so they can come in, take over the country, and
Yeah, I know. But
what would you do with that, really?
we are the epicenter for the virus. I mean, supposedly the most advanced country in the world, and we're the epicenter because there are people that won't wear masks, that don't believe in it, that thinks it's a hoax, that think Dr. Fauci invented it, and Bill Gates, and that then they're going to put chips in the vaccine with the 5Gs and the, you know, and
we're already chipped with our phones.
oh,
You
please.
carry your phone everywhere, you're already chipped.
It doesn't matter. It's not happening. The people are stupid. And now we got the schools going back. So what do you think about the schools going back?
That's terrible. I don't think they should send the kids back because that's like, okay, we're going to send all the kids back, but nothing else can open. You can't go to work. You can't go to bars. You can't go to football games, baseball games, nothing. But you can send the kids back to school.
Well, I think that
What do you think of that?
I think that...
Would you send your kid back to school?
No, I would
Neither.
not.
I would
not.
Neither.
I would be a terrible teacher. My kids would just have to be dumb. My kids would
What's
just
your
be
name?
dumbasses.
My name, Rhonda.
My kid would be a bunch of dumbasses.
What's your name? Rhonda. And yours? Rhonda.
There'd just be a bunch of dumbasses, that'd be it, because I couldn't teach, but, and I don't have the patience for it, and I'd be fine. It'd be like, Mom,
It'd be like Sister Marianne in
it'd be
the
like,
Catholic
Mom,
school.
what are we
with
gonna
this-
study today? Well, you know what, why don't you guys go make cookies and we'll pretend it's math? You know, I don't know, it's like this guy.
Did you ever have home economics?
Oh, yeah, of course, my favorite teacher was my home ec
What
teacher.
did you make?
We made a little skirt, and we
Oh, you make cookies?
and we made food, we made a cake or something, I don't know, it was, anyway,
You don't remember home economics,
yeah.
do you?
Yeah, I do, I liked it.
You barely said a few things. Let's hear some more.
Well, I don't remember everything. We made a cake, we made a skirt, we made,
And she still wears her skirt to this
Yeah, it
day.
was
That's
not
why
this
they put her
big,
on.
too.
That's
Like
why they
junior
put her
high, it
on
was like that
Facebook
big.
jail. They put her on Facebook jail because she was
yeah,
wearing
they
that
put me in
little skirt.
Facebook jail because
She's
I
doing a live
think
stream.
Trump's a jerk. But anyway, the main thing is that what we want to do is look at the school systems, because what I think they have to figure out, and it's very difficult, is how do you put that many people in one room together with one teacher? How does that teacher protect herself? Like, let's say you're in the room and the kids, they're going to be touching stuff, and little kids are wiggly,
picking
and they're
their
going to have
nose.
ADD, and they're going to pull the mask off, and you know, and their parents are going to go home, and half their parents are going to be like not believing in it, so they're not going to be practicing that at home. They're going to be out doing whatever, and then the kids may be carriers, and then they go to school, and then they compromise any kid with asthma. They compromise any kids that's on, you know, that might be.
Ritalin?
Well, any child that has any kind of a disease at all is going to be compromised. And then you've got the teachers who are going to be compromised and bring it home to their families. And what if one kid gets it? Do they close the whole classroom? Do they quarantine the classroom, all their families, the teacher, everybody they came in contact with, everybody that was in the lunchroom with them? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. We may have to have a year of not learning so much, and every child's going to end up being held back a year and start over,
That's what happened to me.
you know?
Actually, no, I have actually got
Henry,
moved forward.
what was your favorite year in school?
They all were favorite of mine.
Yeah, I thought it was 7th grade because it was 3 of the best years of your life.
Well, actually, they moved me forward.
They did. They just kept pushing. You're not dumb. You went to Regis, so I know.
Yes, they moved me forward. So I actually graduated kind of early. I was 16, then when I turned 17 and graduated. So
Wow, that is early. I graduated. I was 17. I hadn't turned 18 yet. But a few weeks
so
later, I did.
I think they moved me up from, it was in 4th to 5th, they moved me up.
I moved you up.
I felt kind of strange because everybody was big.
Yeah, that's probably not smart because socially.
Socially, it was, yeah, it was a little bit.
So I don't know. You know, my thought is that the
I still have
schools-
drain damage.
a brain
Drain damage.
drain damage. But my thought is that you really can't do the schools. They can't
No,
open
you gotta
up.
keep
And-
them closed. And DeVos, if you're gonna take away the money because they don't open up, that's crazy.
Oh, well, they're just nuts. And then the other thing is, like, think of the teachers that are all going to retire that are close to it. You know, the ones that are 65,
They're gonna
66.
jump. They're gonna
They're going to
bail.
be like, okay, that's it. It ain't worth it. I'm gone.
Yeah.
And you're going to be, who's going to substitute? The teacher came down with corona. Can you come in and substitute? Hell no. Oh, hell no. I ain't doing that. No, hell no. You know, and you've got, you know, it's going to be pretty crazy. I would suggest if you could afford it, and again, once again, the gap between wealth and non-wealth is going to get bigger, but my suggestion would be if you can afford it, get with 3 or 4 of your neighbors, all of you chip in about $1,000 a month, hire your own teacher to come and hold it in one person's basement or house, and teach your own 10 friends. So there's only 10 kids, they can be separated, and just hire your own teacher.
Yeah,
Pay them
make
under the
sure-
table, they wouldn't have to turn it in, they make good
Make
money.
sure bring your duct tape and stuff so you can put it over the kids.
Yeah, I mean,
Hang them up on the walls.
well, then you can only invite the people that you know are practicing social distancing, are intelligent, have kids that are going to listen, have face masks on, you know.
I seen this this really cute video of this guy playing his music. It was a country song, but it was X-rated sort of because it says, you know, how do you have sex when you're 6 feet apart? And so he was explaining it in his song. It was so funny.
Oh, God. There's some
Take off
pretty
your
funny
mask,
stuff out
hey
there.
baby, rip off that mask.
Did you see in Dallas,
Like it's
they have a
sexy to rip
drive-by
off your
strip
mask.
club? Did you see that?
Yeah.
A drive-by strip club in Dallas. So that you go through a tent. There's like a barricade, you know, like they put up for concert lines.
Yeah, and they put
and
up
all the
the
strippers
thing.
are behind it. They have their masks on, and you order your food, and then as you drive through, waiting for your food to be
They're
delivered, the
stripping
girls
down
strip. Thank God. Okay, and now we're gonna have poor hurricanes and everything else. So let's get to. Oh God! All right, let's get to oddities because I saw something on here I thought was pretty funny. Let's see what's on the radio side. Do we have to do a break or we?
We're good.
on that. Let me get some music.
Good rock music.
That's right, 80s rock.
Remember KBPI?
Oh, yeah, I remember KBPI rocks the Rockies.
That was one of the best ones ever done. Do you know that? Because everybody would say it.
Yep.
I'd even say it. KBPI rocks
The Rockies.
And I think everybody would say that. So that was one of the best promotions, I think.
It was a
ever.
great commercial.
Yes, perfect.
Here is the story that's my favorite for the week. So are you ready? Oops, it disappeared on me. A man faked his death to avoid jail time, but a typo gave him away. He faked a death certificate and somebody gave it to his lawyer to say he couldn't go to jail because he died. Here's the death certificate, and they had a typo on it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! All right, so here we go. A Long Island criminal defendant tried faking his death to avoid a jail sentence, but the phony death certificate his lawyer submitted had a glaring spelling error that made it a dead, pardon the pun, giveaway for fraud.
A dead giveaway.
Yeah, so he was 25 years old. He was from Huntington, New York. He now faces up to 4 years in prison if convicted in the alleged scheme on top of his original sentence. He pled guilty. He was in possession of a stolen Lexus and attempted grand larceny of a truck. Okay, that was his crime. He was convicted. He pled guilty. And then he faked a death certificate so he wouldn't have to go to jail. So let's see what was on there that was a spelling error. So, is bail back in jail? Okay, the message, let's see. I'm trying to see what the public defender took the case, and the lawyer submitted the suspicious death certificate. He claimed that he'd been used as a pawn. He really didn't know it was, obviously he wasn't paying attention, didn't look at it, and he submitted it. So anyway, this is what, registry. Oh my God, this would be me, I would do this. So anyway, the document was issued by the New Jersey Department of Health, Vital Statistics and Registry. But there's one problem. Registry was spelled wrong.
Registry.
Registry. Oh my God.
Busted him.
Can you, okay, if you're gonna do something like that, at least have somebody proofread it. That's pretty dumb. Proofread it. All right, we're gonna go back to oddities again. And police captured, look at this, a little picture of a kangaroo in jail. A kangaroo hopping through Fort Lauderdale. Police capture a kangaroo hopping through Fort Lauderdale. There's his picture, he's in jail. They got a call about a kangaroo running loose, so the Fort Lauderdale police officers managed to capture him, place him in a squad car. And he was taken to a barn and they locked him in a paddock where they usually keep horses until they could figure out who owned him. Okay.
Wow.
That's pretty funny. Okay, this is a good one.
That's yours. Gotta be.
I gotta announce this. I might should do some of these on the radio, maybe.
I can do it now.
Yeah, well, we're in the middle of a song. Let's let that song. We're gonna get the song out. We'll do this on the air.
I can just lower it.
This has to be on the air. It's too good.
Hold on. Okay, ready? You're on.
All right, we got some great rock and roll music from the 80s right here on KUHSdenver.com, the stream. This is Rhonda Shea. You're listening to the WTF with Rhonda and Henry. And right now I'm about to go into news that should be fake, but guess what? It's real. Oh no. So we're live both on the radio and on the video side, and here is the story of the day. Henry's laughing. Okay, it's in Georgia. Why does all this stuff happen in the South? I swear to you. A cheeky corpse. I'm not even gonna say the title because it's gonna ruin it. I'm just gonna go through here. It seemed like a major crime for Allenhurst, a town with less than 700 people in South Georgia. A female body was spotted by the railroad tracks. Liberty County deputies gathered at the scene and waited for the coroner. It took a while before they realized the joke was on them. The corpse was actually a sex doll. How are you that dumb as a policeman? Oh, God. Okay, deputy. Okay, Barney. That sounds like Barney Fife, doesn't it?
Even they would have known.
I mean, my God. Detective Mike Al Britton said officers found a female humanoid Tuesday afternoon.
Must have been the expensive ones.
Under the department policy, deputies can't touch a dead body until a coroner arrives. They thought it was a dead body, so they stayed back When the coroner got there, he was checking the body for injuries and realized it was a sex doll. The detective said it was atomically correct. Okay.
It was one of those
and
expensive
realistic
ones.
features and was fully dressed.
It was those good ones.
Okay.
It cost $10,000.
I can't. I can't help it. Okay, here's something, guys. If you were a vintage Super Mario Brothers video game, remember that from the 80s? Everybody, my kids had them. Well, if you have an unopened copy, it just sold for $114,000.
Wow.
So if you would have saved one of those instead of giving them to your kids, put one back in the closet and lost it, and give you that for Christmas. I buy the presents, then I lose the presents, then I buy more presents, then I find them and everybody has double presents. So if you would have found one and kept it, you'd had $114,000. The bidder remained anonymous. It's an early version of the pioneering Super Mario Brothers game, and it was released in 1985 for Nintendo NES console, and it sold again for $114,000.
That's like, wow. That's for...
That should be fake, but it's real. That should be fake, but it's real. Okay. Now, let's see what else. Let's see, is there anything good here? Oh, dear goodness. Doggy delivers, we already did that one last week. I'm just saying, deceased cat gets voter registration application in the mail. All right, here we go. Atlanta! It's Georgia again. Okay, must be the cat must belong to the sex toy.
Kitty.
One Atlanta family got a push, got a little interesting when they were talking about mail-in voting. Now, of course, we all know that the percentages of mail-in voting is you're most likely to hit by lightning 4 times in a row than you are to have a problem with mail-in voting. But there are some, but they're so few and minuscule that they're not really matter. So this one checked his mail Wednesday. He found a voter registration application, directed to Cody Timms. That's his cat. And not only was it his cat,
Cody.
he died 12 years ago.
Whoa.
Okay. All right. So anyway, they're trying to push and get everybody registered, but they need to be a little careful on that. So don't send those out to cats and dead people, folks. We need the real people voting, not that. God. It's Georgia again. I don't know. The South is kind of scary to me. We should have let him go. We should just let him go. Hey, just send the African Americans up here. We'll take care of them. The rest of you stay down there and just get out. Go with your own country. Get out. Man loses an arm in a wrestling. Oh, I already did that one. That was old. That was a kid who was wrestling his own kid, and the kid accidentally shot him.
He got mad and shot him.
Yeah. They were wrestling with guns for some reason. I think that took place in the South too. Let's see. Let's just find out. Where does it say? Man wrestled. Let's see. Man loses arm. Kentucky. Yep. Anything in here?
Oh, Buford.
That's it. God. Oh my God. I just shake my head. So this is a frog. This is a story about a rare leopard frog, and then we're going to go back to the music on the radio side, and we're going to go back to ranting on the video side. The rare leopard frog found beyond its known range in the Southwest. So there's a little leopard frog. He's got little spots, a little cute little frog here. He was found in Flagstaff, Arizona, and he has been known in a certain range in the Southwest, but the Forest Service that photographed the frog said he was way out of his traditional area, so they're expanding out. They're not sure why. It's an aquatic frog, and they used to be only in eastern Arizona, western New Mexico, and northern Mexico historically. But the frogs now have declined in their habitat, and there's very few of them because of diseases and predators. But they found one actually outside of their normal territory, and so outside by Flagstaff. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think our animals, with everybody being inside more, and
they're getting out.
They're getting out.
I say, where's everybody at?
Yeah. They're like, hey, we can get out now. We can go we can have some fun. You know. But it's probably part of that sex toy thing. The frog and the rabbit and the cat. I don't know.
Oh, tell me about it. You know all about this stuff, right?
Yeah, sure.
What do you use? Frogs, rabbits?
You're gonna get on my nerves here.
I really did.
Okay.
You can give me that look again. That's the look that the female lawyers give when you're out of hand. Watch.
Yeah, really.
Give me the look.
Oh, hell no, that's the look. Oh, hell no, you did not say that, Henry, because you were going to be in trouble. All right, so let's get back to the music.
Okay.
On KUHSdenver.com. We don't want to go too long with those stories. It bores the people that just want music,
Yeah,
right?
you're
People that just want music get bored, so we have to get. All right, so that's the oddities. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, Burger King. Have you seen the new Burger King thing? That Burger King is addressing climate change by changing the cows' diets. Let's see what this says.
What are they feeding them?
I don't know. The chain has rebalanced the diet of some cows by adding lemongrass in a bid to limit bovine contributions to climate change. That's like cow farts or something, or cow poop. I'm not sure.
We used to live out there, but there close by was the feedlots, and my God, was it was so heavy with the smell of the poop and all the air from the cows, like you said. It was so heavy. Did you ever go by the feedlots?
Oh yeah,
oh,
yeah, it's
my
bad.
Freaking
It's
God.
bad. Yeah, it stinks. It's bad, and it's like, and then West Texas too, where they have the oil wells and the cows and oh my God, you can smell it 20 miles before you cross the border.
In Greeley, they put a kind of a hold up on Leprino Cheese Company with all their cows and stuff. They had to say limit growth, and so because it was so stenchy.
So maybe that's what this is about. So Burger King is trying to rebalance the diet, giving them more lemongrass, which they think will help alleviate some of the smells associated with cows.
They're farts.
I guess cow farts or cow poop or something. Tweaking the diet, they believe it will reduce the cow's daily methane emission. That must be farts.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure. Why don't they just back up like
well, that's what they did in
a hose
Colorado.
and collect it all and then just put it in people's cars?
They were thinking of doing that.
That would be all right.
That's
now
true.
they'll take the poor cows that they leave in the crates and they never get to move, you know, and they just milk them. Now they'll take them, put them in there, and they'll just stick hoses in there and collect their farts.
Run the cars with it.
I know. Gas up here.
Gas up here.
Wait, let me give the cow some more hay. Pull up. I don't know. Anyway, it's a byproduct of their digestion, and it's become a potential public relations hurdle for many burger chains because obviously people don't want to live by and smell that. So the greenhouse gas emission from agriculture sector makes up about 9.9% of the total U.S. greenhouse gas emissions in 2018, according to the EPA. And so the amount of emissions from livestock, called enteric fermentation, that's the word for it. They can't just call it a fart, a cow fart. It has to be an enteric fermentation of methane produced by livestock.
Jesus.
More than a quarter of the emissions in the agriculture sector are produced by that. So anyway, they're going to try to change the diet and help with that a little bit. So I think that's pretty weird.
So you got some really nice people coming in here. You want to tell them?
Oh yeah.
Tell the audience again about that.
They're coming up next in 2 weeks. It won't be political in 2 weeks. We're just going to have a guest, 2 guests, and they are wonderful. It's Bob and Nancy Daly. Bob Daly went to high school with me as a friend, and he went on to stardom and acclaim on Broadway, as his wife did. And he has a whole family like that. He's got another brother, Stevie, that's been on Broadway, and his wife. And for many, many years, they worked in the theater, and they moved to California to because their son's career was taking off. And so they moved to California, and they're in Hollywood now. And their son is a well-known writer and director and actor in Hollywood, and has written and directed many, many movies and starred in many shows. And they are a very talented family. So Bob and Nancy will be on here to talk about their life and to share and sing some of the songs that they have sung professionally on the stage, and to just share what they're up to now. I just thought
That's going to be nice. We'll zoom them in, and we'll
Yeah.
bring them on Zoom on this big screen behind us, and so it'll come in really
Yeah,
nice.
so I encourage you to tune in 2 weeks and catch their show. They call it Twice Daily because there's 2 of them, Bob and Nancy Daily.
And we'll take off the compression so that way the audio will come through absolutely crystal
Yeah, it's
clear.
going to be great. We're going to do it on both radio and on
Yes.
print. And Bob's funny. They're both funny. They have great senses of humor. They're fun actors and people and intelligent. So I think you're going to enjoy them. So that's coming up on the stream, KUHSdenver.com, in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, we're just doing our show and we're bitching about the whole world because the whole world's making us crazy. That's, on the video side. It's crazy. It's a rant today. I just went off. I'm sorry, I went off.
I know you did fine. Because you got out of Facebook jail. They're feeding you some
I was in
crap there.
Facebook jail, yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I want to get a thing that says, I survived Facebook jail, you know.
So, that concludes your show. huh?
That's it. That's the end of it. So I want you to tune in and read, learn. Please, I implore you, if you are a former Republican or if you are a current Republican, look at what's happening because it is not the Republican Party. It is a nationalist party, and you need to find your roots again. And to do that, it's going to be painful, but we have to stop this movement. It will end democracy. So thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you all in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye-bye.